Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
I'm Stephanie.
And we're here from the Eclectic Gamer to talk about our 2016 Gencon game preview.
Yay! It's not a new situation.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yay. So we're going to go over some of the stuff that's on our radar, and then after Gencon, we're going to review and see what we played, see what we liked, see what we found that we didn't have on here. Mm-hmm. And it'll be hopefully very exciting.
Cool.
So first we're going to talk about some of the big games, the doorbuster games, the ones people are going to be knocking over women and children to try to get to.
Right, that we won't be participating on.
Yes, no. We did that last year. It was not fun.
Epic fail.
So the first one is Cry Havoc.
By Portal Games.
Stephanie's favorite.
One of my favorite publishers. Maybe my favorite publisher.
But yeah, what's this one about? I don't know.
So I think this one seems to be an area control, dudes on a map game. It looks like it has some unique and interesting combat. This is definitely not a genre of game that I usually play, so I really don't know anything about it or how it compares to other games.
I've heard people vaguely go, the combat is so innovative, and then I don't hear anything more about it, and I go,
yeah.
Okay, well,
I haven't watched any thorough playthroughs of it or anything, so hopefully we can get a chance to demo this at Gencon and see how we actually feel about it.
Or maybe one of our friends will buy it and we can play it that way.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah. Cool. So the next one is Cfall, which is super duper duper exciting.
Yes. So that one is the new legacy game by Rob Daviau. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. It's being published by Plaid Hat Games. Now, he has designed Pandemic Legacy, which we all know, everybody, including us, loves.
No.
Risk Legacy, which we never played.
No,
and Clue DVD, which I love, and sitting over there. And
it's really good. It's like the best version of Clue. It's
exactly.
very weird.
So this is a legacy game, which means that it takes place over a series of, I think, 15 games. I'm not sure. And the game conditions will change between every game, depending on what happens. But this is the first legacy system that isn't going to be based on a previously existing game or title. Yeah. So I think it's a 4X game. It's something about sea exploration, and
I'm hoping. And like I said, I know very little about it.
I'm not really sure beyond that. Yeah.
I was totally sold just in the concept. These games, Pandemic Legacy was amazing.
Right.
I'm totally down with whatever gets made. But the idea that you could build the map dynamically as you play would be really, really cool.
Right. So it's kind of weird because this is a game you'd want to play consistently with the same group.
Absolutely.
So I don't see us being able to even really try this at Gen Con.
Even if, we can't try a sample game.
The rest of our group won't be there. So,
So we might not buy it at Gen Con, we might get it online afterward, but it's still exciting.
We've already had pre-order for several months, and I think they're only bringing
don't bump the tripod.
A couple of copies of the game to Gen Con, so I definitely won't be trying to fight for that one. Alright, so the next one, which I realized we should have done previously because I thought these were in alphabetical order, but they're not, is Scythe.
That's okay.
Which you cannot fit in that.
No, it's not going to happen.
And that is by Stonemaier Games.
That sounds right.
And
this is a Kickstarter,
This
right?
is another Dudes on a Map game. It was definitely a Kickstarter, one of the most hyped Kickstarters, I think, of last year going into this year. But I've also heard that it's very Euro style. I really have no idea how it works.
It's been getting a ton of hype online, but the only people who have it are the Kickstarter backers, who you'd expect to be really hyped about it. So it's gotten a ton of hype, a lot of good reviews, but it's by the people who have people tend to be invested in Kickstarters they back, even if they're bad, they'll defend them.
Right, they have a very vested interest in it. So
again, when nothing's particularly standing out, but if people start talking about it or we get to play it with someone there, well, definitely on the radar. And you probably care about it. So
yeah, that's probably true.
We should mention it.
So the next one is Star Trek Ascendancy. It's Star Trek, so people are interested in that. I've heard that it's like Twilight Imperium, which people apparently also love.
Is it 3-player out of the box? And
it's 3-player out of the box, for 4-player? And then you can buy expansions to open up different races.
Oh, okay.
So I don't remember what the races are that are in the box, other than I'm pretty sure
probably Federation.
Like Federation,
and Klingon. If I had to make it
definitely Federation and Klingon. I don't know if the third one's Romulan or not. That would make sense. And I don't remember what the expansions are that are available out of the gate. I want to say Ferengi, but I don't remember.
Is it original series based or Next Generation, or do we know?
Don't know.
All right. Well, again, it's one of the.
I will say that any game that is going to take over 2 hours to play is not a game I'm particularly going to be interested in. So
I'm trying a Gencon at least, right?
And this, in general, I have a hard time sitting for
that's
more than 2 hours. So, this any game that says it's like Twilight Imperium means okay, I'm out. But I could be. I'm interested to hear the buzz. It could be good enough that I'd be willing to try to do it over multiple sessions. We'll see how it goes.
We both like Star Trek. A little bit.
Well, you like it a lot, and I like it a little bit.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last one is Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sails. I've heard a lot of people get really excited about this one. For me, we have the original Ticket to Ride, and I'm interested in picking up the UK map at some point because people say that it has more advanced game mechanisms. She just keeps wanting to kick the tripod.
She does. She wants to mess everything up. Be on TV, Edie.
But I would say that I have pretty much no interest in this one because it is, I think MSRP is almost $100.
Oh, wow.
And that Ticket to Ride is just not a game I would spend that much money for. So.
That's true. I mean, yeah, we'll see reviews afterwards, see if the mechanics are that much more interesting, but...
Yeah, and it's a whole standalone box. It's not just an expansion, so I would expect the price point to be higher. It's just, that's too high of a price for me.
Yeah.
For that kind of game. Okay, so now moving on to each of our top 5 games, I guess, from the con.
Stuff we're excited about.
So
separately from the big crazy ones.
The first one I'm excited about is Illbound by Red Raven Games. For some reason, I did not choose to back the Kickstarter on this, and of course now I'm kicking myself. I actually don't even know that much about the game other than it's designed by Ryan Lockett. It takes place in the same universe as Above and Below and City of Iron, which are 2 games that I adore. And I've heard that it's sort of his take on a 4X genre, but nothing that he does really sticks to one genre. So I'm really interested to see how that translates to a Ryan Lockett game.
That'll be cool. So I'm really excited about Ice Cool. I love penguins.
True.
I generally like flicking games for some reason.
True.
I like things that are wibbly wobbly. So this is apparently it's a dexterity game where the box it's like a stacking doll that sets up the board, which is really cool. But you flick these penguins around, but they're like wobbly so that you can like curve them and flip them and do all sorts of crazy stuff with them. And it's just gonna be silly fun. Sillier than flick them up, maybe.
Probably. Yeah, which is gonna be good because we have a really hard time getting people to play Flick them up.
Yeah, we need to work on that more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should just be a silly game, and like I curl too, or used to. So give me a little bit of that. Ice Cool, penguins, do it.
All right. So my next game that I'm looking forward to is London Dread, which is going to be published by Grey Fox Games, and this is another one that I don't know a whole lot about, but I know that it's cooperative. You're playing a team of investigators set in Victorian London or England, somewhere abouts. There's stories, so there's like unique story cases that you're trying to solve, and that there's 2 phases. There's the planning phase, and then there's the story phase, which your plans unfold, and the planning phase is timed. So it's like XCOM meets Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, potentially. I don't know that it'll live up to that expectation, but if it does, that game will be awesome.
That's fair.
So I'm very interested in checking this one out.
That sounds good. The next one you have listed, Last Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know a ton about it, but it's a sort of old school slasher movie themed one person does hidden movement game. So it's similar to what's the Jack the Ripper one? I'm blanking out. Letters from Whitechapel or Spectre Ops or
Fury of Dracula.
Great Museum Caper. That Stephanie hates. But the person who's doing the secret movement is like the slashers, like is Jason or whomever. And apparently there's different like stages of it. Like eventually they have to go hunt him down or whatever. But I feel like it's so ripe for like the tropes to be made fun of, and I like the idea that I think in all the games I've seen where they have that kind of hidden movement thing, it's the hidden person is being chased by the other people, right?
Maybe, yeah. We haven't played For Year of Dracula, but the other ones.
That's true. I don't know about For Year of Dracula, but like the other three we mentioned, like they're being chased by the hidden. Or they're chasing the hidden person, trying to track him down, which makes sense. But this, I think, part of it is that the slasher is going after them, but he's moving hiddenly, and like I feel like that, just that little change could turn it on its head. And even if not, I feel like all the tropes could be really funny. So
that's fair. Not my type.
Lots
of
of potential,
like, at all. But you have fun with that.
I will. We'll have fun with that.
So the third one on my list is Terraforming Mars, which is by Stronghold Games. And that is going to be, well, it's a Euro, so I assume you're trying to generate some sort of victory points by terraforming Mars the best. But I actually don't know much more about that other than the engine building puzzle mechanic of Euro meets, life on Mars.
You had me at victory points on Mars.
On victory points on Mars, nice.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that comes out. So, Terraforming Mars.
Stop being a bad cat. Alright, what's my next one? I can't read your handwriting. Oh, Mansion of Madness 2nd Edition. So, I don't know, again, this doesn't seem like it'd be a great play at the con game, but Mansion of Madness 1st Edition was
unless you got 3 hours to play.
Yeah. It was one of the first, sort of like, probably first 10, like, serious board games we got, because...
Yeah,
it was early.
It was early. We loved Battlestar Galactica, and then when they announced that there was going to be a new Quarry,
and Betrayal
and House of Hill, and when they announced and Arkham Horror, and when they announced that there was going to be a Cthulhu haunted house themed game designed by Quarry, we were like sold.
Yeah, we're like, and it's got stories built into it, so we know there will be like a good story to it, and we played it. But what happened was we were still kind of like getting used to, really thinking strategically. And in Betrayal at House on the Hill, you don't care. You just kind of go, oh, let's go, whatever.
Yeah.
But what happened we played 3 or 4 times, and I always had to be the
keeper. You always had to be the keeper.
It was very stressful. But what happened almost every time was I would be doing something, like, I would I'm going to send my guys over here for a specific reason because of the plot. And they would be like, and no one would go... Or, like, for whatever reason, no one would stop them. And I was like, I win now.
Because, and it's really sad that I can remember this 8 years later. But it was definitely, like, the first game we split up. Because we split up, we weren't powerful enough to defeat any of the monsters and just got annihilated. And then in the second game, we decided not to split up. But then it ended up that we went down the wrong corridor. So then...
When my guys got to a certain spot, I won.
And we had no chance of stopping them because we were in the wrong corridor. Well, I don't remember what story it was.
But what happened? What basically happened was every time we played something, they would miss one little thing, or one little thing would go wrong, and they would just lose, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is terrible," and then I would get yelled at.
Yep.
And everyone would be angry at me, and it was just bad news bears.
And for some reason, Adam's really excited about the 2nd edition of this.
Because there's no keeper.
Yeah, but now you're going to have to join with us in being extremely frustrated. And instead of being able to yell at a person...
There's a reason all y'all refuse to be the keeper or the overlord is because it's so much worse when everyone is mad at you.
No, also because we thought if we really sucked at it as the humans, we could not have been good at it as the keeper.
But yeah, like... It's rough being the one guy everyone is directing their negative emotions at, and so like if you beat them, it's like the whole party's like that. But for some reason you just switch it so it's a totally co-op game. Where you switch it to a totally co-op game and everyone loses together, we all go, oh, okay, that was just the game. And it's like a totally different vibe than when someone beats everyone else. And so I feel like it's going to take all the promise of that game and hopefully make it good.
Okay. I have reservations about this, obviously. But I think they streamlined Fantasy Flight Games, streamlined Arkham Horror well when they introduced Eldritch Horror. Although I also still really like the original Arkham Horror.
They did a great job in Descent 2 as well. A lot of some stuff.
For some stuff, other stuff I like Descent 1 better. Yeah. But I'm interested to see what they do with this to make it different and hopefully a little bit shorter and less fiddly as well.
Yeah.
So, okay. So my number 4 game is Archer Once You Go Blackmail. We've never gotten into Love Letter, but I adore the TV show Archer, and when they announced that there was going to be an Archer version of Love Letter, I was like, done. That is all I have to say about that.
That's fair. What do I have next? Captain Sonar, that's right. So, I don't know a ton about this, but it seems like it's building off the Engelstein's idea with the original Space Cadets, where everyone has their own job, and so you can't like micromanage anybody.
Maybe,
but it's also
like a little Artemis.
A little Artemis-y, where like everyone, you're all on a submarine, and you all have different jobs, and you all have to do it like at the same time. You each have your own job to do, and that concept's very, very cool because it stops.
Well, there's one person who's the captain telling everybody what to do, so that guy's micromanaging.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of the idea.
The heck out of everything.
But like, whenever you play a co-op game, it's hard. It's hard to find that balance between helping people who are having troubles and telling them exactly what to do. And so these kind of games can be very interesting, but they can also fall apart. Like when we play Space Cadets Dice Duels, what happens every time, even with people who have played before, you're like doing stuff, and you're like, oh, you're completely playing that rule wrong, and you're basically cheating. Like halfway through the game, and because everyone's not watching everyone do stuff, like you're just like, okay, what do we do?
It's not a co-op game, but
well, you're on teams.
But the idea that you're each doing your own thing, that lends itself to that.
It can be a problem, but yeah, I mean, I want to check it out.
Okay, so my last one is kind of a cheat. It's the network's. It's cheap because we pre-ordered it, so we actually already have it.
Videos up on the channel,
and you can see our first playthrough of it up on the channel. But I like this game for being sort of a light to midweight Euro game with a really fun theme.
That's very silly.
It's not the kind of game that I would build a game night around, but being able to just take like a break to play a lighter game,
hour and a half or so,
sillier game. Yeah, it's not like a filler game. Like I have half an hour to do something, but it is a good. It's not going to be your 2 hour plus event game, but it is, like I said, fun to take a break and do something a little bit sillier for a little while.
Yeah, cool. And my last one, I know almost nothing about. It's called Arcane Academy. But it's designed by Eric Lang and Kevin Wilson, right?
Yep.
Eric Lang of Everything Awesome Last Year fame, Blood Rage, XCOM, right? Did you do XCOM?
He did XCOM. I don't think that was everything that was awesome last year.
But and Kevin Wilson did all the original Descent stuff, right?
He did Descent.
Battlestar Galactica, was he part of that as well?
I don't remember. He definitely worked at Fantasy Flight Games. He did Descent. He worked on Android.
Yeah. But the two of them should be really cool. I think it's supposed to be sort of a you're a wizard, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, anything by those two, I'm like, it's definitely worth taking a look. So
yeah, that's fair. Are there any still yet to be announced things that you would like to have happen?
I mean, who knows what Fantasy Flight's gonna do, but at the same time, I'm not gonna make my way into that booth to find out.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. There's no way we'll ever wait in line for the Fantasy Flight booth.
No, the thing I really like about Gencon is just walking around and seeing cool stuff and seeing what's going on. And this guy picked up this game. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there's a demo of something coming out.
All right.
Like 2 years ago, we discovered Sentinels of the Multiverse, which wasn't new by any means, but we just got super into it, and it was a really cool find. So.
That's fair.
So my favorite thing is the thing I don't know about yet.
Okay. The only thing, because Fantasy Flight is notorious for making at least one big announcement while they're at Gen Con.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is yet. I want it won't be, but I really want it to be Android 2.0. I love Android.
Yes. I'm down.
In theory, but it's actually a terrible game. And if they could streamline it and make it a lot
better,
more mechanically interesting. Because the story the story elements and the theme of it are amazing, but the mechanics are just terrible. So if there was a way that they could fix the mechanics to go along with the amazing story and theme, then it would be an amazing game. So
I will second your Android 2.0.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else we want to talk about before we get ready for Gen Con? All right. Well,
see you on the other side.
That one, yeah. I'm Adam.
Stephanie.
If you see us at Gen Con, say hi.
Yeah.
One person,
Question
2 people,
mark?
maybe. Yeah, exciting. Other than that, check out all the other videos, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.